How's it going? It's Ethan here at eTrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Swagman Current Hitch Bike Rack and how it fits on our 2021 Honda CR-V. The Current is designed specifically for e-bikes, so it is a platform style rack capable of supporting two bikes up to 60 pounds apiece. It's going to hold on to our bike primarily with this center mast frame clamp here, or hook, and two additional straps, one on the front, one on the back tire. So it does make contact with your frame, and it does so in a pulling down fashion. So if you want to use this with your carbon frame bikes, recommend against that because it could potentially damage your frame while it's driving. But we do have the ability to put those hooks up and down the center mast entirely, so should it be able to accommodate your alternative frame style bikes. That being said, we do have the ability also to tilt away with the bikes loaded up. And to do that, we're going to need to reach through both of the bikes, if we have two on there, to this green lever here. We'll pull that, and it doesn't do a lot of helping with the weight of the bikes coming down. So if you do have two 60-pound bikes loaded up, just be aware of that. Luckily, though, the tilt is aggressive enough for us to get complete hatch access and open that up with the bikes on there. So from here, I can sit down, change my shoes before or after my ride if I want to, or now would be the time to get anything out of the back that I would need once I get there. So that tilt is really nice. It is just kind of heavy when you get two electric bikes loaded up there. Tilt it back up, you hear it click into place, and now we can get the bike removed. There is an optional ramp and bridge attachment. It's not sold with this rack, but you can get it separately, and the bridge just goes across, and the ramp telescopes and goes down one of the sides if you need a little bit of help loading and unloading your bike. For us right now, though, I'm going to work on just getting these straps undone. That's going to be the first step in our process. So I'm going to come to the front tire strap here, press this button to release the strap. And the straps are nice and long, and they've got nice rubberized material compared to the plastic sort of bendy material that a lot of other racks have. I trust these a lot more in staying good for longer. So here on the back strap, we can also see that there are these pads. It's one on either side, just to protect your tire a little bit. But with those out of the way and through, now we'll move on to our center mast hooks here. On the hooks, you can see that there are lock cores, one on each. So if you lock those up, you won't be able to press the button and you won't be able to remove the hook. So our bike will be locked on there. But for now, I will press the button, and the hooks do come all the way off the center mast, which is really nice, especially if we get that ramp and bridge, just because we don't have to worry about our pedals making contact with the center mast or anything like that. And even if you don't have that, you still have the option to lower the center mast if you want to. Instead of dealing with the pedals, again, now we can just get the bike straight off, keeping in mind that we will have to put those hooks back on when we get that center mast back up. For now, though, we can take a closer look at the cradles, and you can see that there are a couple different groove sizes in there. So that'll accommodate your road bikes, your mountain bikes, up to 5-inch tire width right out of the gate, which is really nice. I'll put these straps away and also point out the fact that we do have the ability to slide the cradles up and down the tray if we loosen up these hand knobs here on the side to accommodate different wheelbases, in this case up to 50 inches. I'm going to get this up, put this strap back in as well, and I'll get those hooks loaded back on, making sure to start with the longer one, just line it up, and get that back in place. And the shorter one next, and we can get this folded down and out of the way as well. Might have to move the hooks just a little bit to accommodate wherever your cradles wind up. That being said, from here I'm going to go ahead and get a couple measurements to see what it's like to live with this on the back of the vehicle. First things first, I'm going to measure the total distance added on to the back. From the bumper to the furthest point out, it's going to be just over 26 inches. It's really compact. It doesn't take up very much space at all. Ground clearance is going to be right about 17.5 inches to this point here. As high as you're going to have to lift those heavy bikes up if you don't use the ramp attachment is going to be about 22 inches. That being said, though, if we're not happy with how much space this takes up, we can fold it up if we want to maybe store it in our garage, or if you're worried about parking it, we can lift up on that handle again and fold it up towards the vehicle. You heard it click back into place. And now from the bumper to the furthest point out, it's only going to be sticking out about 15 inches. So that's not too bad at all. It sits a little bit close to the bumper, but it's going to kind of depend on where you end up putting these cradles. In our case, this closest one here is just over 2 inches, but it's not going to get any closer than that. I did mention that it is a compact setup, and it really is. As you can see from the folded up position on the back here, we do have full visibility of our license plate and our backup camera. Nothing is going to interfere with those. It's low enough that it's not going to make any sort of contact or interfere with our taillights at all or our rear view window. With that being said, we can take a closer look now at how it fits into our hitch receiver. So this rack has an 1.25 inch shank that fits into our 2-inch hitch receiver. It's held in place by this anti-rattle bolt. We have it fitting into our receiver with this sleeve to get it to fit into our 2-inch receiver. And we have the lock pod on the end. It's going to be key-to-like to those frame hook locks we talked about earlier. So if you want to use this with your 2-inch hitch receiver, you can. Or if you have a car with an 1.25 inch receiver, you can use it for that too. So overall, the Swagman Current I think is a really nice value option if you want to get 2 e-bikes where you need them to go. 60-pound weight capacity, 5-inch tire width right off the gate, tilts far enough for us to get complete hatch access, folds up in a really compact state when the bikes aren't loaded up, and it has that optional ramp and bridge attachment if you need a little bit of help loading and unloading those bikes. That being said, if you are looking for racks that are specifically designed for e-bikes in mind, and you want something that you don't have to buy the ramp separately and the ramp is integrated right onto the rack, you check out something like the Yakima on-ramp. It is a little bit more tricky to work with. There's a lot more pinch points and things like that, but it does have that ramp that stores right there on the rack, so you don't have to remember to bring it along. That being said, if you do want that value option and all the features we talked about, the Swagman Current is still a really nice choice. This again was just a quick look at how it works and how it fits on our 2021 Honda CR-V.